Hello, everyone. Nigeria. Thanks for joining us at this moment. This is the newspaper review segment right here on 97.5 Golding FM Yenagua. I am Moya Steven.
And I am Paul Oblomugbasa.
Interesting stories and headlines we have on the various national dailies. But I'd like to start with the Punch newspaper. And the big story there, of course, on all the newspapers is emergency rule, winners, losers, as Tinubu reinstates Fubara. Who are the winners? Who are the losers? Well, there's a popular saying that says, no victor, no vanquish here. So, peace has been restored, according to the president in his official statement. And, well, let's see how it goes as the governor, now no longer suspended governor, the governor of River State, Siminalayi Fubara, starts work today. Cash transfer, federal government pays 330 billion naira to 8.1 million households. And many Nigerians are kicking with the story. 330 billion naira to 8.1 million households. Who are these households in the first place? Okay, so we're going to be asking the question. I don't know if there is any household in Bayelsa. You probably want to call in and say, I benefited from this. It's very important because the federal government says it has paid 330 billion naira to 8.1 households. SSC, NECO probes mass cheating in 13 states. Mass cheating in 13 states. Okay, so NECO has released its internal examination. And, well, the cheating this year, according to them, actually dropped. But let's see how that goes in a way. Don't block Natasha's resumption, NBA tells Senate. As embrace peace, learn from emergency rule, Obi urges Rivers leaders. Which of the Obis? We're going to find out. Maybe it could be the popular Obi that we all know, though. Nigeria's nightclubs turn restrooms into luxurious selfie spots. Interesting.
Very nice. Very nice.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the top stories there before we go, we're down with the Punch newspaper, is federal government returns history to basic school curriculum. I wonder why it went away in the first place, but thank goodness it's back now.
Yeah, so at this point, let me take the button and I'm running with, this really has to enter into the state newspaper. It says something interesting. Jubilation in Rivers as Tinubu ends emergency rule, restores Fubara deputy and house members. It's a jubilation in Rivers as Tinubu ends emergency rule, restores Fubara deputy and house members. You find out there on this day newspaper. Then also conversations around, is it FARC, the federal allocation, that's FARC disburses 2.225 trillion naira to federal government, states, local governments as federation account grosses 3.635 trillion naira. FARC disburses 2.225 trillion naira to federal government, states, local governments as federation account grosses 3.635 trillion naira. And also it said new tax laws may not end multiple taxation. It had also have what significant implications for Nigeria's investment climate. You find that conversation, of course, from this day newspaper. Then also another one that is really, really looking like, okay, we'll look at, say, Dapman, Dangote clash. Marketers demand retraction of products diversion claim.
How important this new curriculum could be and how necessary we needed a new curriculum. But now the conversation the conversation on board at the moment is that specialized skills, yes, the new curriculum has done that, has introduced the specialized skills, but without skilled teachers. So it's not just enough for you to go to university to learn this. Are you skilled enough to be able to teach or impart this knowledge to those who who are supposed to benefit from those specialized skills that you want to teach in the secondary schools or in the primary schools. Remember, the AI and all of those digital technology stuff. Are there enough teachers to handle these subjects, these areas that the new curriculum is introducing into the system? It's not enough for you to have people who graduate as computer science, graduates and all of that. Are they trained to be able to impact this knowledge to the younger ones? That's the question that this day newspaper is asking.
I think just to really add up, the moment we are creating room for some things to be included in the curriculum, it means that we should of necessity have people to be employed to fix in the bracket, to fix that gap.
But that's the opposite of what is happening in Nigeria.
But I also stumbled upon something on social media. They said there's going to be inclusion very soon of the Mandarin Chinese.
I
in our
heard of that as
curriculum.
well.
And I saw that, I'm like,
And one of our callers once said that why do we have to learn Chinese? We want to become
are you-
dependent to them or
so
something.
those are the conversations that people are already weeping about. I'm wondering, why learn Chinese when we have
Well, that's optional, though. It was included, it is included somehow in the curriculum, but it's not like compulsory. Like you have English and other courses. Like French is not a compulsory subject as
it's
well.
not it's not so much so it's going to be like, okay, because we are partners, some persons, in the midst of the conversation, is it because they are partners with Nigeria now, or is it because of that? Are there some things that we had signed and in order to meet, or not really okay? Please don't worry, we're going to be including. So that conversation is going to be there, but it's just part of what we see and hear now. So, but the curriculum, if you're going to be including some segment of it, let's have skilled people, employ them. They are there in society.
Big question, right? Federal government disburses 330 billion in cash transfers to poor households. That was also captured in the Punch newspaper. I asked the same question. If you are in Bayelsa State and you have gotten a little bit of it, as federal government claims, you probably want to indicate and also say, yes, I've really benefited from this cash transfers. Tinubu lifts state of emergency in Rivers State, Fubara, to resume September 18th. And quite a number of other stories. We'll get more stories on the Business Day newspaper after this commercial break.
Cruising around by Yelsa on 97.5 Golden FM.
Now listen to this government special announcement. The Bayelsa State Government holds a one-day event with a theme promoting local government workers' welfare Bayelsa model. The event will provide insight into the gains of the reforms by the Doye Diri administration in the local government system. The date is Thursday, September 18, 2025. Venue, DSP Alamisi Memorial Banquet Hall, Government House, Yanagua. Time, 11 a.m. Highlights of the occasion will include presentation of awards and checks to retirees who retired from the local government system in August 2025 by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doye Diri. All invited stakeholders are requested to be seated by 10:30 a.m. This is signed by Honorable Ebiowa Koku Obi, Commissioner for Information, Orientation, and Strategy.
Cruising around by Yelsa on 97.5 Golden FM.
All right, back to the newspaper review. Yes, we're still looking at the Business Day newspaper. We have Jigawa government approves 75 billion naira supplementary budget and engage in constructive dialogue with Dangote. Ndume tells Nupang and others. Okay, this one's interesting. Nupang, please engage in a constructive dialogue with Dangote, advised by Ndume.
Yeah, it's what everybody been clamoring for. We need to have the conversation. Let's do everything so that, because end of the day, it's all about the Nigerians. It's all about us. It's all about what the things that could be beneficial for us. So just stop all the different back and forth. defend what like they say in the street, the parlance say we no go agree now. It has to be collective efforts for all Nigerians. Let me just get to the nation newspaper. It says Ibas reminisces on tenure as sole administrator. He says history will be kind to him. So Ibas reminisces on tenure as sole administrator of Rivers State, and he says history will be kind to him, coming from the Nation newspaper. Then, also another headline says APC not part of early campaign, says the chair. Of course, that is coming from its national chairman. Say the ruling All Progressive Congress is not involved in any electioneering campaign.
What do you expect?
Ahead
What
of
do you
the
expect?
2027 election.
What do you
know.
expect? What do you expect? Of course, they will always have something to say about it, but Nigerians already have the evidence. You could see it. Everyone is talking and saying, hey, this is going on. And, even some of our guests have also accused the ruling party of engaging in that. Well, that's the chairman speaking there, but
Like I was
It's out
saying.
there.
Then also another thing that's quite disturbing that we see, it pops up once in a while. Federal pensioners threatening to protest October 1st. Federal pensioners threatening to protest October 1st. And so pensioners of the Federal Civil Service in Nigerian Union of Pensioners have said it may protest non-implementation of the 32,000 naira increase in their pension on October 1st.
wow, that's a very touchy one, actually. I just pray that the federal government will do something before that October 1st so that there will be no disruption of activities.
Especially knowing that these are people that have served. Especially.
But you heard about a story where some security personnel at the government house in River State protested for unpaid allowances as the Ibokete Ibas was leaving the government house to the airport.
Body of his wages. You should be having okay. You say because you're sole administrator. One of the things that they said that had to be this was they needed the approval from the federal house, of course, the House of Assembly and the Senate to really ensure that there's smooth operation of everything, including payment of salaries in River State. So you're going to be having that, and you're not paying those that are within. That means the day inside sea soap they enter the eye. That's bad business.
Let's get into the Vanguard. Paul, you're quite funny there. Seneco results 60.26% of candidates have credit passes in English and maths. That's a very good pass mark, isn't it? 60.26%, above average. Quite good. Congratulations to all of them. And here is the story. Judge returns Lagos land forgery case to CJ. Okay. 2027, El Rufai right on power shift. Obi remains rallying point. That's coming from an obedient chieftain right there. What about the story? It will interest you. It says PDP dismisses APC national chairman's claim to install Plateau governor in 2027. And then the question comes, no glitches, no excuses. PDP wants INEC on 2027. Okay. Now that sends some message right there, isn't it?
Just to be very clear, it's the fact that I think they have a right because they are Nigerians and they're concerned. Not just they're concerned Nigerians, and also because they are people that are rightly involved, in the matter. Because also we saw that before the time. We had assurance first, and anything like reassurance from the INEC chairman before the elections, way before the elections, like months before the election, that we have beavers, everything would become real time, everything. It now felt as though it was good value for money spent. And don't forget, it was a huge amount that was budgeted for the elections.
That was actually to make Nigerians not... because already there's a voter apathy.
Do you get?
So the INEC chairman at the time, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had to say something to make Nigerians come out to vote.
So
they had to do something. They had to say something. and the BVAS was the way to go. And transmission of results to the IREV was the thing that would convince Nigerians to come out and vote. And Nigerians actually did, but maybe they didn't expect it the way it happened. And other results were transmitted, and the presidential results, there was a glitch. And so PDP is saying no glitches, no excuses. This time around, there should be transmission of results. And that's why we're talking about electoral reform.
Yeah, that's why my major concern will be that in 2023, we had over 90 million registered voters. And for the presidential election, all the results that were mopped in were just about 27 point something million. If that's an examination, that's a failure. That's a failure because many persons were disenfranchised that day and some other things. So they have to work on that benchmark. If you have 90 million registered voters, work on at least, if you have an election, we should have at least 70 million people turning up.
So to back up PDP here, the Ubani and SAN saying BVAS IRF require stronger legal backing for poll credibility. Would they have that legal backing then? That's another question.
I think, yeah, rightfully, because after all, even when they read the report and the results, rather, they told anybody, any warring party, anyone that had any issue of conflict, go to court.
And the other thing is that they are not obligated to use whatever thing is on the IREV. They can also collate results manually. That's it. So,
I think the manually looks as though that's the reason why we have to work with technology. The manually is time consuming because if you think about the words, you're going to move into local government, from local government to the state, from the state you're not taking over, you're taking the result, transmitting hard copy, you're bringing it to Abuja. That is a lot of things. So things could happen in between. That's why we're saying the IREV it's on the go. Also for credibility too, you could also monitor to see what's happening, what's going on. So Nigerians can also follow the process. So it is on that premise that we had many voters coming in and new voters and things like that. So those have the clarity. Like I said, it is good. Let's have the backing. The backing legally can make it happen so that we can have the results on real time. That'll be fine. But also, please, they should not also forget that it takes technology to do it, to transmit these results. Some of these people had faulty network providers. We saw it was even people that went to go, Nigerians that went to go and vote, that stood and said, okay, let me open my Wi-Fi. I'm going to open my hotspot. I'm opening my hotspot now. Connect. How? They needed to protect their vote. So these are the conversations we need to really settle and work on ourselves for.
In Nigeria, a lot of people make these things look like rocket science.
Thank you for that word. I was waiting for it.
I
was waiting for it, really.
What's there? What's a network issue? It's done everywhere. It's done everywhere. So, it shouldn't be a big deal to fix this. It's just the will. I feel it's just the will.
Is it the will or somewhat somehow? Some people will tell it looks as though it's deliberate.
Oh, yeah. What do you want me to say? I was just trying to avoid that.
Yeah, because I'm just saying this is what some school of thought are saying, because checking online, and seeing some conversations, some persons are saying that it feels as though it is a deliberate act by some actors in the aspect. Because everyone
Let's put it straight.
Yeah.
Some have blamed INEC for it.
So
many guests that we have anchored here say it's INEC's fault.
Okay, well, hold on.
And that's what PDP is saying. Okay, so INEC, no excuses, no glitches.
Yeah, okay. Now, when there was an issue with the JAMB, who took the fall for it?
Of course, Oloyede, the professor.
And he came out, and
Oloyede, yeah.
In the midst of everything, it was called out, and he came and said, "Well, very sorry, there was a glitch."
INEC also apologized.
And
INEC apologized for the glitch.
INEC apologized for the glitch when?
Oh, yeah. So, they came the next day and said, the presidential results we were unable to, fix it because there was a glitch. We're sorry about it, but we are going to collate the results manually.
But in the midst of everything, suddenly, see.
And they apologized as well.
See,
there was a glitch.
See, that glitch thingy. It came up with JAMB, came up with the thing is, don't repeat it. There's some things that you do, and when it's repetitive, it's as though you're playing on the intelligence of Nigerians. Especially when, for me, The major thing is monies were spent.
And you know what? That's why the legal backing thing is very important. Look at what he said. Dr. Monday Ubani, SAN, the chairman of the Nigeria Bar Association Electoral Reform Committee, said that, among others, BVAS and IRF data must be given conclusive legal weight, penalties for breaching strengthened, and evidentiary rules simplified, warning that without reform, Nigeria's democracy will remain vulnerable to flawed elections. So, if I can understand what the former NBA second vice president said about penalties for breaches should be strengthened, if I understand what he's saying, is that if INEC comes up to say, hey, there was a glitch or there is a problem with this, there should be penalties. There should be penalties that INEC should be penalized for breaching the agreement, because without this, there will be no credibility in our elections. No credibility.
The thing I like about what you're doing this morning, as always, is the fact that you're picking the words that I've been, I kept in the archive. I'm wondering, okay, are you going to whip it up? And the credibility is on trial. INEC's credibility is on trial. So whether it's for the now or whether it's for the tomorrow, this is the thing that has to be said. If anything occurs, we know that there's something called human error, but please make it clear that let's work on something that will have zero human errors. And if there's a mistake for it, you come out and there should be penalty for these things. We should not have people just do things with impunity and just carry and look at you and tell you to your face, there's nothing we can do about it. This is what it is. Let us work on it. Let us work on it. Stop going around in circles. Give Nigerians the credible reasons, or the reason for them to really believe in you. The fact where people are already grappling with trust and trusting the structures, then you have see, one thing that INEC needs to understand, I know they know it, but we have to make it, and Nigerians are raising the advocacy for it, is the fact that a mistake from INEC could cost us
this second time.
Yes.
Many years Nigerians have been a bit, withdrawn with the elections. So 2023, they were really interested. And let's imagine that we succeed in convincing Nigerians to come out to vote in 2027. INEC would have to do a great job to tell and to show Nigerians that, look, we are here to make you feel comfortable with our elections. And that can only happen with the electoral reforms, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think that is
legal backing.
We support it 100%.
If there's any glitch, there must be some penalty. That's according to the SAN. But let's ask this question. It's all the papers said the same thing. We want to find out if Bayelsons, maybe poor households in Bayelsa, also received this money, because it's all over the place.
Everywhere. Every paper has it.
They say 8.5 million homes receive at least 25,000 naira, and the federal government has disbursed up to 330 billion naira in direct cash transfers to poor and vulnerable households across the country. I just want you to note that, across the country, as part of its revamped social protection program. That's coming from the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu. So there are people in Bayelsa State that have also received this 25,000 naira, because it's across. I don't know about you, Paul. Have you heard of anybody close to you or whatever that has received the 25,000 naira?
I think that's we had at the past administrations. You have people, humanitarian Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, just flinging things across, and people are wondering all of a sudden.
And we hear also
the corruption embezzlement, money. So you are seeing this thing. So it's as though some persons, for the sake of social media, because part of the time before they were heard of the siphoning of the money, we saw people holding phones, were snapping as, okay, like this is I've collected my own money, but it was tilted towards some part of some region in Nigeria. Some other persons were wondering, this kind of money come out, where is they? I don't even see them. So there have to be a balance in these things. For me, for the sake of credibility and sincerity, where the governors carried along, did they carry the governors along in this matter? Where the House of Reps and the House of Assembly members, will they carry it along too? The House of Reps and senators are talking about because of the constituents in the various constituents in where they belong to. Do they have a list of those things?
Okay. Yeah. Well, then we leave that to the callers, to the listeners to respond. Okay.
Yeah.
But then, before we open the phone line, there is wild jubilation in River State following the announcement by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the immediate end of the 6-month emergency rule in River State. Traders at the Mile 1 and Mile 3 markets, as well as commercial motorists who got wind that the president would lift the emergency rule in the state.
Which way forward? Is he going to carry out the dividends of democracy moving forward? Is he going to be given the free hand to run the state as a democratically elected governor? That is a question for another day. And for the cash transfer, I must be frank to you, like you guys know me on there. I'm a very frank-speaking person. Of the truth I speak, I have received 25,000 naira from the federal government of Nigeria.
Nice.
Poor hustles. I'm sorry to ask a question, Pere. It is meant for poor, very poor, for the very, very poor.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Sir.
Okay.
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Very poor. Do you know if I'm poor, I'm rich? Why are you saying this?
I was only pulling your legs.
The question is, I receive it. Of
Okay.
the truth I speak. But the question lies, do I need it? What do we need? It's an enabling environment for us to strive as common Nigerians. Not just 25,000 can vanish in the next 3 days. What will you do with 25,000 naira? What we need is good roads, light, name it, good healthcare. Those are what we need, not this transfer thing. For me, it's just another way of trying to cajole the people politically. That is on one side. And as for Fuba, we just pray that they will just give him the democratic right to crown as a governor. And we heard you talk about special skills in our schools. That concerns me so much. Sorry, I won't take much of the time. You see, in those days when we were in the school, we used to help the local craft, the introductory technology, and we have teachers for those subjects. But do we have them today? What's the way forward? Thank you this morning. Which way, Nigeria?
Thank you very much. David just stepped in the studio. I think a lot of things happen on the way. David, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, let's take this call. As you settle down. Hello. I lost that. 0707-747-1522-0912-000-1975. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Prince Obakri. I'm calling you from Ibis area.
Okay, just go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to chip in regarding Rivers matters. Today is a new turn for Sim. Sim is the governor of River State currently. He being a governor, he knows why and the reason why he's been elected. What has happened has happened. So having the fear of the unknown on whether he's going to have the full control as a governor to do his legitimate right as a governor for the dividends of democracy in River State, I think he has learned a lot. And therefore, I believe positively that he's not going to have any issue with anybody. As far as I'm concerned, I think this is my take this morning on your program. You're doing well. But as for River State is peaceful, and I think everything is going to go well as he continues his administration. Yeah. Thank you, and God bless you guys.
Thank you very much. Once again, we say welcome to David. David, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
My world. And a lot of people are saying, well, Rivers people jubilated yesterday. They were all glued to their phones and their radio sets to listen to the announcement of the president. According to reports, at the Mile 1 and the Mile 3 markets, people were all jubilating with their, making music with their knives and celebrating. You too. You seem to be indifferent about everything in River State. And then also to mention the 8.5 homes that have received 25,000 naira from the federal government's conditional direct cash transfers to poor and vulnerable homes. They said 330 billion naira has already been dispersed. And what's your reaction to that? I mean, a lot of people say, what do we do with 25,000 naira in the first place?
For River State, I think the governor, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, is just coming to sit down as the governor of River State, but not to say as an active governor like every other governors in the states, who are very much in charge of their different states. But in the case of my governor, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, he is not in charge of the state. He is only just there like the then, ceremonial president of Nigeria, late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, while Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister running the administration of the government. For him, already he's just there to adhere to the instructions given to him. Yeah, like I said before, and I keep saying it, he has just been turned to ordinary water leaf, vegetable. There's nothing he can do. As he's coming, or he has assumed office rather, he will not make any changes. He would not make any changes. The budget had been passed without him, the governor, making any input. I've not seen where it is done before in Nigeria, in any of the states, where the governor of the state is not the one making the budget preparation. It's quite unfortunate. The State House of Assembly too did not know anything about the budget. Then the good people of River State, for whom the budget is being prepared for, did not also make their input with respect to the budget. Some people far away in Abuja sat down, colluded, think of how to disburse our money, and that is it. And they say budget has been passed. He has nothing to do there. For local government election, he's going to accept what he has seen. He cannot go back to do anything. The day he tries it, Amewule and his people, they will unleash the dragon on him. So there's nothing he can do. Look at a state like River State, an unknown person came to be the chairman of RIFSEC, as sensitive as it is, the chairman of River State Independent Electoral Commission, conducting election for us, far away from another place, Cross River or somewhere. Ibok Iteba, the former military administrator, sole administrator rather, brought his own brother to come and conduct local government election for us. And Siminalayi Fubara has no option than to accept what he has seen. Again, I remember the FCT minister some time ago also giving the instruction that even the commissioners too that he's going to appoint, he is not the one even making the appointment of commissioners. Already the list, it has been prepared. Because mind you, the FCT minister, Chief Nyesom Wike, at some point in time made a comment that all those people who have insulted him, look at it, who have insulted him should not be appointed. And that calls for worry. For me, I begin to think the people who have genuinely, on their own, decided to support Siminalayi Fubara and the people of River State because of the illegality that was carried out, what will be their fate? They will just remain like that. So it's a crime or a sin they have committed to themselves for supporting the governor who cannot say anything again. And they have no place again in the politics of River State within this period. It's quite unfortunate. We have only one man now who is in the Indian Army of River State. He's the owner of River State. So let us see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes.
All the same.
Just
some-
before you jump your, let's get to hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Moye, Paul, and what?
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, thank you. Well, interesting, thank God, and a good one for the governor of Rivers State being back. I think now you understand better. And those of us who foresaw this was right, against him trying to, go contrary.
Good morning. Yeah. I think we just lost Ayi there.
The way he's crying foul for Governor Tim, for me, I don't even know. The budget was not going to be left lying there till the 6 months will be completed. And at least someone has to pass. Projects must go on in Rivers State. So I don't know. The crying foul and all of that, the commissioners have to be appointed. Work must go on. The Rivers State must not stand still because of him. This is one man. Rivers State is a Kumba, so it's a big state. That should not be left lying. For me, Governor Tim has just one option right now, which is just play loyalty. He has to play it. Forget about everything. If he can't play loyalty, I think he will be forced out. It's just loyalty. Then for that 25,000 naira, I think the other first time, before it was now suspended, that they have to make checks. Neighbors are around me got it. But right now, I don't think anybody around me has gotten that 25,000 naira. Nobody. I don't even think in Bayelsa State anybody have. Because the discussion, this is the first time I'm just hearing. So I don't think that money.
Okay, Bradley, we had a caller call and say he has received. So we had the caller say he had received his 25,000 naira from Bayelsa here. So just to take notes.
Okay, so many people have the same, thought about, government must continue without Fubara. Fubara or no Fubara, government must continue. Just as the last caller
Look, nobody's saying government should not continue. But what we're saying here is, it is obvious that today it has been done to Rivers State and it is an illegal act. Tomorrow, I believe when it will go to another place, Nigerians will not complain too. Because in Nigeria, once it has started, if you start one thing and it turns a norm, then it becomes a tradition. As Bola Ahmed Tinubu today has done it, another president will come, will do same. Or even him, Mr. President, if by 2027 he wins the election, that means nobody can dare, or one man can just decide to be powerful in a state and they declare state of emergency. Of what reason was that state of emergency declared? When there are states where every day, was it not in Benue Abibu State, Nasarawa State, over 50 persons were kidnapped on a same, just in a minute, as if they were rolling ships to a lorry or whatever.
And nobody was kidnapped. And nobody was kidnapped in Rivers State.
Just look at it. Because of the interest of the one person, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 2027 ambition, and how is Rivers State going to be delivered, both financially and everything, then you say we should just keep our mouth quiet, that Sim should just... Well, that is left for him. All what I'm saying is for the interest of Rivers State, not Sim. I have nothing to do with His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara. I'm not his fan. I'm not the Wike's fan too. He came via FCT Minister, isn't it? The time they were doing the campaign, and after all, how many times did Siminalayi Fubara open his mouth to campaign? Wike did all the campaigns for him. Most people don't even know him throughout that election period. Not until the election was conducted. So, if they want to use states or Nigeria as personal thing, now me bring you come. So anything when I talk, now you go do. You want to give us, let me not use the word shit, so to say, to chop, and we should open our mouth to eat it. We shouldn't say any word. I'm afraid the direction Rivers State is going, anything that Wike decides is what is going to happen within this period that Sim will be the governor. And how can we run a state like that? That Rivers people have no say again. It's terrible. I'm bitter. I'm angry because the governor is just coming to do... Let him just sit down there and let us be seeing his face as governor. Otherwise, I cannot be a governor and I don't have a say. The FCT Minister, Wike, will not take this from anybody. He will not take it from anybody.
And some Nigerians expect Siminalayi Fubara to take it.
No, but you have seen it.
Just
right?
like the last caller,
He wants
Bradley
to take
saying.
even him, the governor, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, with greatest respect to him, he is a weakling. I like using that word for him. He's a weakling because he does not know how to use power. I cannot be an executive governor. Then one man will tell me, because you brought me, therefore, I don't understand. I would have rather even moved to the APC.
But he
long time ago.
But he
I
tried.
remain with the president. Let us see how it will be.
But he tried to resist. The
He
former-
did not. All even those ones he tried to do was as a result of, the motivations of citizens of Rivers State and Nigerians. That no, this kind of a thing cannot be happen.
But he would have
Elders cannot be in the house and a goat will be tied to the rope delivering. No.
But he would have been impeached, one way or the other.
That impeachment wouldn't have even taken place. Because, mind you, the chief judge of the state still remains the chief judge. They made an attempt to remove the chief judge. And you cannot impeach, one of the processes, you cannot impeach the governor without the chief judge.
Yeah.
So how would he have been impeached? More so I'm the governor, this executive, the chief executive. I have every powers, every machineries. My brother, I don't think it will. It's just that he's not a politician. And he does not even know how to play the politics. He's very weak. He had to. Then if he's so weak like that, why did he even start the problem?
Well, Fubara is back now. The governor is back.
He's back to do nothing in the state.
He's back. And
He's
so,
back just to sit down there and answer yes, sir, to Abuja.
Rivers people are somehow jubilating.
Rivers is being ruled by Abuja. All the contracts he awarded. Well, did you not hear Ibok Iteba say cancel? A man from nowhere came and canceled the contract he awarded. To the extent of even asking them to refund monies back to the contractors. Who does that? Where will that happen?
And Itebas is gone.
He's gone. And nobody, they have already given him warning. Some people are telling him to, carry out a probe, an inquiry into how Rivers money was spent. But ordinarily, we should ask for the past 6 months, how was the Rivers State people's money spent?
Is that going to happen?
And Iba said that history will be kind to him for what he's done.
History will be kind to him for what he had done.
That's what the paper said.
Unfortunately, I am telling him, posterity will judge him for bringing problems to Rivers people, for accepting to come and be a problem to Rivers people.
Problem?
Yes.
But Rivers people jubilated yesterday.
Who are the people jubilating? That Ibok came.
No, that Fubara is back now. Ibok did a good job.
They have no option. Because that is the governor they know. That is their governor. For some, he might not come. For some people who are thinking they will extend it again. And they made an attempt to provoke people so that it will be extended. But we have already known ourselves. We say, no, any way they do, we could be the mumu.
So that our governor will be back.
We'll be back. And even the governor people are talking for. We also hold microphone and say, nobody should fight for me. Look at him. It's quite unfortunate.
We have to go.
Yes.
We have to go.
It's really, really unfortunate. River State had just been the way it is.
Yeah.
Ibok came. He has collected his own. He's going with our money. Tomorrow, you will hear that himself too will come and claim, as former governor, build house for me. I'm entitled to, what do they call it?
I don't think that's going to happen.
You are the one saying it.
It might not happen.
You are the one saying it.
Because he's not a governor. He's not elected. He's a sole administrator. He's not elected.
His portrait will be in the archives there.
True.
If you go to his portrait will be standing there
So, 6
as
months.
one-time administrator of Rivers State for 6 months. So he will tell you, build choice houses for me, also give me my own pension.
Many thanks to the president. He will thank the
Many
president
thanks
for
to
that.
who? I can look. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu should rather come and apologize to Rivers people for the evil he has done to us.
No, but he gave a press a statement. I think a speech yesterday, and none of that happened.
That is him anyway. But today is his day. God is in heaven watching. No problem.
Thank you so much, David.
It's my pleasure.
We have to go.
Sorry
Thank
for
you.
coming really, really late.
Pretty
It's
late
well.
today.
It's well.
It's well.
It's well.
We'll have to give it the time to speak. Otherwise, we'll have been all the calls right now. Okay, so stay tuned for Let's Talk Nigeria in the next 3 minutes. I am Moya Steven.
And I'm Paul Bassa.